Over the past 4 lessons, we've been strengthening what we've called the fire body, the water body, the air body, and the earth body. Today, we're going to discover something surprising. There never really were 4 separate bodies. There has only ever been one magical self. Everything that we've been doing throughout this series has been strengthening different aspects of one living magical being. Each of these 4 bodies has strengthened a different side of the witch's pyramid. The fire body strengthened the power of will. The water body, the power of faith. The air body, the power of imagination. And the earth body, the power of secrecy. None of these powers exists independently. They all work together. They support one another. They complete one another. This is what I call the spirit body. Now, I have to admit something. I don't actually think that the spirit body is the best name. I chose it because most systems that describe the elements usually include spirit as the 5th element. But what we're really talking about isn't another body. We're talking about an integrated magical self. Imagine standing beneath a great old oak tree. You see the roots, the trunk, the branches, the leaves, the acorns. You could spend years studying each part of these separately. You could become an expert on roots or leaves or branches. But eventually you recognize that there aren't 5 trees, there's only one. Every part belongs to one living organism. Your magical self is the same. Your will is not separate from your faith. Your faith is not separate from your imagination. Your imagination is not separate from your patience. Each strengthens the others. Each supports the others. Each allows the others to express themselves more fully. That's why we've worked through them in this order, not because one is more important than another, but because each prepares the way for the next. Fire gives direction, water gives confidence, air gives possibility, earth gives time. When those 4 begin working together, something remarkable happens. You stop trying to, quote, do magic. You become the practitioner through whom magic naturally flows. The magical self isn't something that you build from the outside. It's something you uncover from within. It's always been there. The exercises we practice haven't created your magical power. They've revealed it. They've strengthened it. They've brought it into balance. A bodybuilder doesn't create muscles. A bodybuilder discovers and develops the strength that already exists. We've been uncovering and strengthening something that has always been your birthright. Take a moment and think back to where you were when this series began. Perhaps your word has become a little stronger. Maybe your faith comes a little more naturally. Maybe your imagination feels more alive, or you've become a little more patient. Those may seem at first like small changes, but taken together, they are transforming you as a witch, as a magician. Now, I'd like to share 2 simple practices that bring the whole magical self together. The first is something I call becoming the magical self. Sit quietly for a few moments. Take one slow, deep breath. As you breathe, remember your fire body and quietly say to yourself, I will. Take another slow breath and remember your water body and say, I trust. Take another breath and remember your air body. I imagine. Take another breath and remember your earth body. I allow. And then simply breathe naturally for a few moments. Simply notice that these 4 powers are within you, not separate, all expressions of one powerful, magical self. Another exercise for this week is called living as the magical self. Throughout each day during this week, simply begin noticing these 4 powers expressing themselves naturally. When you make a decision, notice your fire. When you choose to trust, notice your water. When you begin to imagine a possibility, notice your air. When you patiently allow something to unfold, notice your earth. Little by little, you will stop thinking of these as separate practices. They simply become the way you move through life. Different traditions describe the body's subtle energies in different ways. Sometimes they're called chakras or energy centers, channels, meridians, currents. The exact language is not important. What matters is recognizing that your magical self is alive throughout your entire being. Your body's energetic, responsive, intelligent. One simple way to begin becoming aware of this is to gently notice the flow of energy within yourself. If you aren't seated, take a seat if you can. Place your hands a few inches apart with the palms facing each other. Notice any warmth, any tingling, any subtle sensation, maybe a magnetic pull or an energetic resistance. There's no right or wrong. You're simply becoming aware. Now gently bring your awareness to different areas of your body. Notice the base of your spine. Notice your navel. Notice your heart. Notice your throat. Notice your forehead. Notice the crown of your head. Don't worry about getting anything right. This is not a test. It's a discovery. You're becoming acquainted with your own magical self, where it integrates with your physical body. Some days you'll notice more things, and some days you'll notice less things. That's perfectly natural. The purpose is never to force an experience. The purpose is to become available to an experience. If you want to discover and strengthen the energy centers more acutely, you may want to listen to the Rainbow Power Meditation from A Witch's Primer. I also have another separate meditation on strengthening the energy centers. You can find links to both of those meditations in the video description. This week, continue practicing whichever of the previous exercises nourished you the most. If the fire body challenged you, perhaps return to your 7 victories. If the water body spoke to you, maybe go back to your journaling. If the air body awakened your imagination, then keep opening up the witch's workshop. If the earth body brought you peace, continue tending your sacred seed. Don't think about graduating from these practices. Think of living with them and integrating them. Over time, you'll notice that they begin naturally working together. Your words become more powerful, more trustworthy. Your faith becomes more peaceful and expands your sphere of influence. Your imagination becomes more creative. Your patience and your silence become more natural. Without even trying, you become more magical, more powerful. Not because you've added things to yourself, but because you've become more fully integrated and strong as your true magical self. At the beginning of this series, we set out to build magical power. Now perhaps you can see something even more beautiful. Magical power is not something that anyone can bestow upon you, and it isn't something that you can purchase. It's nowhere hiding outside of yourself. It's always been your birthright. The fire body reveals it. The water body strengthens it. The air body shapes it. and the earth body protects it. Now the spirit body reminds you it has all along been one living, magical self. This week we aren't building another body. We are simply noticing and encouraging the harmony that already exists. Notice your will. Notice your faith. Notice your imagination. Notice your patience. And notice how beautifully they begin cooperating with one another. Whether you return to these lessons once or many times through your life, remember, you are not trying to become something other than you are. You are uncovering who you've always been. If you've been walking with me through this journey, leave a comment below and write, "I am the magical self." Thank you for allowing me to walk beside you throughout these 5 lessons. Remember, results are your proof, and the greatest magical instrument you will ever work with has always been you. Until next time, blessed be.